Good day. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the presidential libraries. So, about 7 or 8 years ago, my son was about 13 or 14. We went out west. We took a tour of the presidential libraries. We stopped at Harry Truman's first, and we went to Eisenhower's, then Reagan's, Nixon's. On the way back, we stopped by Bill Clinton's in Arkansas and Jimmy Carter's. And then the year after that, we went to Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Hyde Park. So there's a few of them we haven't seen. We haven't seen Hoover's, which is the first presidential library. We haven't seen Johnson's, both of the Bushes, Ford's, and I believe that's the last one. Obama's has not been built yet. Biden, I don't think has the money right now to start building his. He's in the process of, I guess, getting the funding to build his presidential library. And of course, Donald Trump's still president, so I don't know when we'll see that. But my son collected a bunch of pins, a lapel pin at every one of them, except for Carter's. Carter's didn't have one. So I'm going to show you these. These are pretty interesting. Here is Franklin Delano Roosevelt's lapel pin. And Hyde Park was interesting. He had a great library. Here's Harry Truman's. That was an interesting presidential museum. And we got to visit his house there in Independence also. Here's Eisenhower. His presidential library is in Abilene, Kansas, where his boyhood home is located. So we got a tour of that also. And here is JFK's. That's an interesting one. Probably the best, one of the best libraries was Richard Nixon's. That was really well put together. And that is in California. This was the most interesting, and by far the presidential library that has the most interesting material in it. We've got a tour of Air Force One, at least how it was during Ronald Reagan's presidency in the 80s. And here's his pin right there. We also got a tour of Marine One, which was the helicopter. So that was pretty neat. And in Air Force One, there was because it had everything as it was in the 1980s. There was a VCR and an old television in there, and I thought that was really interesting. They wouldn't have that today. And here is Bill Clinton's, and that was kind of a boring one. I guess a lot of people were just looking for something that, I don't know. But I'm not going to say. But anyway, we'll see you next time.